Have you ever wondered about the legendary Trojan War, a tale that has stood the test of time, woven into the very fabric of our culture? Our story takes us way back to an era shrouded by the mists of time and myth. The Trojan War, a monumental conflict that has etched its place in history and mythology, resonates with us even today. An epic saga of gods and mortals, love and betrayal, valor and trickery, it's a tale that has it all. This video is our time machine, a journey into the heart of this legendary war. We'll delve deep into the origins of the war, meet the heroes who fought it, explore the tactics that won it, and ponder the enigma of the wooden horse. So buckle up, history buffs. Join us as we journey back in time to this monumental period in history. Where does the story of the Trojan War begin, you ask? Well, let's take a step back in time to ancient Greece, where gods and goddesses mingled with mortals, weaving the threads of their lives into intricate tapestries of fate. The origins of the Trojan War are steeped in myth and legend, intertwined with the whims of the immortal gods. The seeds of the conflict were sown at the wedding of Peleus and Thetis, where Eris, the goddess of discord, threw a golden apple inscribed with the words, "To the fairest." This simple act ignited a rivalry between Hera, Athena, and Aphrodite, who each claimed the apple. The task of choosing the fairest fell to Paris, a prince of Troy, who ultimately awarded the apple to Aphrodite, swayed by her promise of the most beautiful woman in the world, Helen. Now, Helen was already married to Menelaus, the king of Sparta, so when Paris whisked her away to Troy, it was seen as an act of war. Menelaus, incensed by this affront to his honor, called upon his brother, Agamemnon, and the other Greek kings, who had sworn an oath to defend Helen's marriage. Thus, 1,000 ships set sail for Troy, marking the beginning of a war that would echo through the ages. In this arena of conflict, the gods were far from passive observers. Their allegiances divided, they manipulated events to favor their chosen side, escalating the war further. Zeus, the king of gods, remained ostensibly neutral, but his wife Hera and daughter Athena, still smarting from Paris's judgment, supported the Greeks. Aphrodite, on the other side, aided the Trojans in honor of Paris's choice. So what started as a divine squabble escalated into a full-blown war, with the city of Troy at its epicenter. The gods played their parts, favoring one side or the other, and the mortals were swept up in the tide of their divine drama. Thus began a war that would last a decade, involving some of the most famous figures in Greek mythology. Who were the key players in this historic battle? Let's delve into the heart of the Trojan War and meet some of its legendary figures. Firstly, we have Achilles, the mightiest of the Greek warriors. Famed for his almost invincible nature, he was a force to be reckoned with on the battlefield. Yet his legendary strength was matched by an equally legendary weakness, his heel, a vulnerability that would ultimately lead to his downfall. Achilles was a hero torn between his loyalty to his comrades and his desire for glory, a dichotomy that played out tragically in the heat of war. In the opposing camp stood Hector, the noble prince of Troy and its greatest warrior. Unlike Achilles, Hector fought not for glory, but for his city and his family. His bravery and sense of duty were his defining traits, making him a stark contrast to the fiery Achilles. Despite facing an enemy as formidable as Achilles, Hector never backed down, embodying the true spirit of a hero. Then there was Paris, another Trojan prince whose actions set the entire war into motion. Paris was the one who, bewitched by her beauty, stole Helen, the most beautiful woman in the world, from her husband Menelaus, the king of Sparta. This act of passion and folly ignited the spark that erupted into the devastating Trojan War. And of course we cannot forget Helen, often referred to as the face that launched 1,000 ships. Helen was more than just a catalyst for the war. She was a complex character, caught between her new life in Troy and her past in Greece. Her beauty and allure have been immortalized in countless works of art and literature, forever tying her to this epic saga. These legendary figures, with their unique strengths and flaws, played pivotal roles in the unfolding drama of the Trojan War. Each one, in their own way, shaped the course of this iconic conflict, leaving an indelible mark on the annals of mythology. What happened during the 10-year siege of Troy? This is where the tale takes a turn from the divine to the gritty reality of war. For 10 long years the Greeks laid siege to the city of Troy. The Greeks, under the leadership of King Agamemnon, launched wave after wave of attacks. Yet, the city of Troy, with its towering walls and valiant defenders, held firm. The Trojans, led by their noble prince Hector, repelled the invaders time and again. The battlefield was a scene of courage, heroism, and tragedy, as both sides suffered heavy losses. The war was marked by numerous battles, each steeped in its own legend. There was the duel between Paris and Menelaus, where the Trojan prince, unable to match the Spartan king, was whisked away by Aphrodite. Then, there was the epic confrontation between Achilles, the mightiest of the Greek warriors, and Hector, the champion of Troy. This battle saw the fall of Hector and the desecration of his body by Achilles, a stark reminder of the brutal nature of war. The siege was not just about battles, it was also a test of endurance, strategies, and willpower. Both sides employed various tactics, from direct assaults to more subtle subterfuge, in an attempt to outwit each other. The Greeks blockaded the city, cutting off supplies, while the Trojans relied on their formidable walls and the courage of their warriors to keep the invaders at bay. Despite their best efforts, the Greeks couldn't breach the city walls. The siege turned into a stalemate, with neither side able to claim victory. The war seemed to be dragging on indefinitely, and morale among the Greek ranks was waning. However, the tide was about to turn with an ingenious plan, a plan that would ultimately lead to the downfall of the great city of Troy. After 10 long years, the Greeks had yet to breach the city walls of Troy, but a cunning plan was about to change everything. Have you heard of the legendary Trojan horse? It's a tale of trickery and cunning that turned the tide of the Trojan War. This wooden behemoth wasn't just a feat of ancient engineering. It was the Greeks' masterstroke, a deceptive gift that led to the fall of the great city of Troy. Let's delve into the creation of this mythical beast. The Greeks, under the guidance of Odysseus, constructed a massive wooden horse, large enough to hide a select group of warriors. This was no ordinary horse, but a symbol of tribute to the divine, specifically the goddess Athena. The Greeks were well aware of the Trojans' deep-seated respect for the divine, so they cleverly exploited this reverence, presenting the horse as an offering to Athena, knowing the Trojans would be compelled to bring it inside their fortified city. It was a perfect blend of cunning strategy and psychological warfare, a testament to the Greeks' understanding of their foes. Now picture the horse, standing tall and majestic, a symbol of peace after a decade-long war. The Trojans, weary of the battle, saw this as a sign of Greek surrender. They opened their gates and pulled the horse into their city, oblivious to the danger lurking within. As night fell, the Greek warriors hidden inside the horse emerged, opening the city gates for their comrades who had returned under the cover of darkness. The Trojans, caught off guard and overwhelmed, were unable to resist. Their city, once thought impregnable, was overrun. So it was not by force but by a clever ruse that Troy was conquered. The Trojan horse, more than just a wooden structure, was a symbol of ingenuity and strategic brilliance that continues to captivate us even today. With the city infiltrated through the deceptive gift of the wooden horse, Troy fell, marking the end of the legendary Trojan War. A tale of heroism, love, revenge, and deceit, the Trojan War and its wooden horse continue to echo through the ages, reminding us of the power of strategy over brute force. What impact has the Trojan War had on literature, art, and culture? This is a question that underscores the enduring legacy and influence of this legendary conflict. The Trojan War has etched its mark in the annals of human culture, its echoes resonating through the corridors of time. The works of Homer, the blind bard of ancient Greece, have immortalized this epic tale in the Iliad and the Odyssey, shaping the literary landscape for centuries to come. Virgil, the Roman poet, further embellished the narrative in his Aeneid, recounting the journey of Aeneas, a Trojan hero. Even in contemporary times, the Trojan War continues to inspire countless retellings across diverse mediums, from novels and plays to films and video games. The Trojan War, its heroes, and the iconic wooden horse continue to inspire and captivate us, proving that this epic tale truly stands the test of time.